He's the award-winning writer and producer of such films as Shutter Island, Terminator, Genesis, and the new hit series Altered Carbon. Please welcome Lita Kalogridis.
Writers don't really like being in front of camera. I'm up here because of Reno Pace. I am going to read the script in a second. But before I read what I wrote, it's really kind of hard to describe sometimes when you're world building and you're imagining things, especially in a science fiction show that people haven't seen before, and you're trying to figure out, since it's not feasible to go to other planets, how you're going to do that. And I became sort of terrified before I left for Vancouver, and I did call a really good friend of mine, Tim Miller, and asked him what his experience was like with Reno, because I'd never met him. And Tim is not a man of many words, and he just sort of started swearing about how amazing Reno was, like the F-bomb every third word, which for Tim, as we know, that's praise. But it was one of those moments where a normally taciturn but very visionary director started telling me how amazing this particular collaborator was. And I'm just going to repeat what Dennis already said. Location is a character. In our story, it was more than a character. It made it possible to believe any of the other characters because we were on other worlds. So now I'll read this thing. Actually, I won't, just scroll it up a little bit. Instead, I'm going to say, I don't know what I would have done without Reno. He is a legend, but he's a lot more than that. He's a collaborator. He's an actual creative person who you go to and say, this has to feel like this, not just this has to look like this. This is what I've got to feel. And when you have more rain than Vancouver has seen in the last 30 years, or more snow than Vancouver has seen in the last 20 years, he finds a way to still make the vision happen. It's impossible to describe. He cast perfectly for us. He collaborated perfectly for us. He made it possible to do what really should have been impossible. And he brings that care, I'm winding up to it, look, I caught up to it. He brings that care and expertise to all his projects. I am very honored to be able to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Reno Pace, but first we're going to look at a little bit of his work. is my distinct honor to present the Location Guild's 2018 Lifetime Achievement Award to an amazing collaborator and an incredible human being and a great artist, Rino Pace.
Thank you so much. I'm so thankful to Eva for taking the time to present this award to me, and I'm really very honored to receive it. Working with Eva on her project Altered Carbon last year was truly a collaborative and innovative experience. Very lucky to work on it. And am I going to work on it this year again? Oh, okay. I'm just trying to plan my fall. Thank you. You know, I never thought in my lifetime that just taking a few photos would put me on a stage and getting an award and talking to a whole bunch of people. I'm a very lucky guy and have been a very lucky guy all my life. And speaking of lucky guys, I must honor someone special here. I literally would not be standing on stage here today if it wasn't for my future beautiful wife, Michelle Cohen. She unselfishly and nobly donated her kidney to me last August. There are many, many people to thank throughout my career who make me look real good, believe me. There's hundreds of PAs that brave 18-hour days to ensure all our rules are followed by the rest of the crew. These guys just work unbelievable what they do. I mean, I don't know if I could do that again if I had to start. I especially want to thank my faithful assistant of 18 years, Jason Collier. He's not here tonight, but thank you, Jason. I also want to acknowledge Hans Dale. He nominated me and interrogated me for hours. Thank you, Hans. In Canada and in British Columbia, location managers aren't Teamsters, but we belong to the Directors Guild of Canada. And we get tremendous support from the Guild, the City of Vancouver, and also from Creative BC. Creative BC works with the industry and its government partners to encourage job creation and investment across all sectors of BC's creative economy. I know a lot of their reps are here tonight, and I want to personally thank them for coming down. Thank you. But you know, the real big deal here is, of course, I wouldn't be receiving any awards if it wasn't for the LMGI. I'm truly humbled that you selected me. There's so much talent in here. It's just incredible when you see what people do, and it's wonderful. It's incredible. Since I joined the LMGI, I realized that they have become the voice of location managers around the world. They truly understand the complexity of the location manager's role, have ensured that our endeavors are recognized, placing us at the creative epicenter of our projects. They champion our determined efforts to best represent the visual concept of directors, producers, and designers. When I initially heard I was going to receive this award, I immediately began to think about all the cool locations I've shot and scouted at, And at the time I was thinking, oh, I bet you everyone wants to hear some really weird, wacky, war stories, because we all have hundreds of them. And, as I started to think about potential stories, I realized, that it wasn't really about the stories, but it's about the incredible privilege we've been given. And this privilege is a privilege that the average person doesn't ever have, and that's access. We gain access to military facilities, homes of the wealthiest, glacial ice caps, marginalized neighborhoods. We have no barriers to our entry. It's really an incredible type of work. One of the things I've always found kind of funny, though, and how tough this job can really be, is, imagine when you're scouting that home that has, it has to be tacky, it has to have that tacky quality required by the script. And then you bring the entire creative crew there, and they're all walking around, the owners are there, and they're all going, great house. Yeah, great house, thanks very much. That's when the tough job comes. People always ask me, what are the coolest places that you've seen or visited? And I have to say my favorites are definitely the big open landscapes of the prairies, the Rockies, the tundra in the north. When I visited and scouted, primordial landscapes that when you scout these areas that few humans have tread upon, it always has a profound effect on you. And it has such a profound effect that it hits your spirituality. In these settings, we recognize our place within the planet. And sometimes on the opposite spectrum, when scouting and filming within the marginalized communities, we also recognize our place within humanity. As location managers, our eyes have connected us to the stunningly beautiful, as well as the unfortunately sad and troubled places. I truly believe it's these perspectives and observations that manifest in our photographs. It is these images that stimulate the creative call of the director, which in turn summons and generates success. We have a big, big job in this complex circle of movie making moving pictures. And I've been very proud of the role that I've been able to play in the projects I've been involved with over the past 30 years. I thank the LGMI for recognizing me with this incredible honor. Thank you so much.